Michael Jackson's trial will commence tomorrow, though this is not the first time he's been accused of molesting a child. In 1993, he faced accusations of abuse from 13-year-old Geordie Chandler, but as a result of a civil settlement, the case never went to trial.
After 93, I mean, don't you feel I should have told Michael, just stay away from it? I mean, be careful. I mean...
Well, stay away from children?
Even if everything is fine, just stay away from it because it causes you so much problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right about that. But you know what? The only reason why, because Michael knew he didn't do that. And I think that's the reason why he probably figured, I haven't done anything.
But you as a mom, don't you feel I should have told him not to do it? Why do I need it again? I mean, I should have here's the time I should have protected him more. Or alerted him more about...
It's not even the children. That's why it's these wicked grown-ups that's lying, and they know that Michael loved children, and they're trying to get him in trouble because he's around children. But it's about something else.
It's about money.
And they know this is the only way that they can get him.
Do you think, Joe, you could have prevented all this by having, you know, father-to-son conversation and like, look...
I might have could have prevented some of it by teaching him not to trust nobody. That would have been a big help, not to trust anyone, because Michael trusts a whole lot of people. And the ones that he trusts, hey, that's a problem.
And when Michael trusted Martin Bashir to make the documentary Living with Michael Jackson about him, the decision backfired. And its current crisis began when the revelatory program was released. In these clips, Jackson is seen relaxing with children in his home and freely admits to sharing his bed with one of them.
And then he finally said, okay, if you love me, you sleep on the bed. I was like, oh, man.
Is that really appropriate for a man, a grown man, to be doing that?
The Bashir documentary was instrumental in opening this current criminal case, because a teacher of the young boy saw the program and reported it to the authorities, and that got the ball rolling.
Did you think at this point it was going to trial?
Yes.
No, I didn't think so.
I did.
You were pessimistic, I remember that.
I did, because I know how wicked people are. And somebody wants to prove a point. They've used up too much.
Too much what?
Tax money.
You want to say tax money.
Mm-hmm.
In 1993, Santa Barbara County District Attorney Tom Sneddon failed to take the case against Michael Jackson to court. Over a decade later, he's now heading up the current prosecution.
They raided Michael's ranch, and then Sneddon and the other people came out in the news. They were jumping up and down. We got him, we finally got him. You know, that was hard for me as a mother, like my son had killed somebody or something.
The allegations against Michael Jackson are almost a mirror image of the allegations from 1993. The state of California alleges that Michael Jackson committed lewd and lascivious acts with an underage boy, that he gave him intoxicating agents to get him to submit to the lewd and lascivious acts, and that Michael Jackson very nearly directed a conspiracy to keep that information from both the media and from the police.
If instead of me, on this chair, was a DA Sneddon, what would you tell him?
I can't say that. I can't say that on television.
Television would not allow that. What would you tell him?
No, I'd rather not say anything about him.
Mm-hmm.
I think when he raided my son's ranch and he got on television that evening, I think he showed his true colors. They don't call him Mad Dog for nothing. And he's proud of something that shouldn't be.
To the Jackson family, the district attorney's involvement is a personal crusade to incriminate their son, which they see as part of a broader conspiracy to ensure his downfall.
7 counts of 288.
I suppose the defense will try to take this charge of conspiracy and bounce it back to the state. They've tried to do this in a lot of pretrial hearings to say, look at this prosecutor. He has been after Michael Jackson for 10 years. He is overzealous. He has used the state's money and influence to try to get this African-American man. Well, one glimpse at Michael Jackson will show you that he doesn't really look like an African-American man anymore. So if the defense decides to take that tact, I'm not sure it's going to work.
People have made some noise. It might be about racism. What do you think?
It is racism. It is. Catherine's not going to say it, but I will say it. It is racism.
You think if Michael were white, it wouldn't have happened?
If it's racism, what do you say? I mean, I just said it's racism.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I'm not going to say what I think because it's more than that.
More than racism?
Huh?
Racism is only part of it.
I'm not going to say anything about racism on it because we know, and everybody knows, and it's more than even that.
Added to Joe's racist conspiracy theories, the very public presence of the black separatist group, the Nation of Islam, seems to indicate that Michael Jackson's defense may play the race card.
And then you had another development. Suddenly Michael hired the Nation of Islam.
No, he did not hire the Nation of Islam.
He did not, correct.
He hired the Nation of Islam's
Bodyguards?
bodyguards.
But you know,
But that was the reason why, too.
why?
Because they was threatening his life. Michael got more threats than you could shake a stick at.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew
Threats
that.
for his life?
Yes. And so,
By whom?
hey, if I knew that, I would go look for him myself. Daphne, go get him myself.
So he got threats for his life after he was indicted?
That's why he hired the Nation of Islam. Got bodyguards. I got to say that. They're still protecting Michael, and they have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because you got some mean people out there, I'm telling you.
You think somebody's after your son physically?
Oh no, I don't know. I hope not. He haven't.
I think, well, maybe I shouldn't say this. 'Cause I
No,
gotta think.
don't say everything you think, Joe.
Don't say anything you see.
Don't say everything. No,
I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag.
no, you can't talk
Shall
too
I let
much.
him? Huh?
Just stop it. Just stop.
Now, when did it, you did not think it was,
We know a lot more than what is being betrayed. Yeah, about the wrong that's being done. We know a lot about that.
The Jacksons' conspiracy theories extend to the reaction of Michael's record company.
Well, when you release an album, one of the greatest hits, like this past was the album released about 2 months ago, and they don't promote the album, what that tells you? They're trying to make the album not sell. If the
No,
album don't sell,
his last album that he released with the Epic, they pulled it off the shelf.
what did he do? How did he take it?
He was upset.
very upset.
But
And you know who did it. Yeah, you know.
do you think if he's acquitted, he can resume his career?
Of course. Come on, Daphne, this United
What did
States.
you say, Daphne?
You didn't hear what?
Do you think if he's acquitted, he can resume his career?
Of course he can resume his career. This is just the United States. All the rest of the countries all over the world is very, very proud of Michael. It's here we have the most trouble out of it.
Why do you think it's such a problem in America? Why do you think?
Come on. You don't want me to answer that, do you?
No,
Huh?
don't answer it.
Shall I?
No, Jill, just shut up. Stop it.
Now, tell me,
I don't want to cut through the chase on this one.
Stop it.
Michael is now a single father of 3 young children. His unorthodox parenting has often been the subject of media speculation. On a recent visit to Neverland, Catherine was confronted with the California Child Welfare Services investigating her grandchildren's well-being.
you actually saved the day when the child service surprised Michael because you were there.
I went to visit Michael, not knowing that Child Services was there. That was a surprise to me when they told me he was there. And I imagine they surprised Michael, too, and everyone else in the house. And when they came out, they had interviewed me, and after they came out from being up with the children, and the children came down, and they were so happy to see me. They were just hugging and jumping all over me. And so I imagine Child Service then, you know, whatever was said out there.
Do you remember what you said that might have said the day? Because the report was good.
Yeah, they asked me a lot of questions. I can't even remember them, tell you the truth.
But it's probably a horrible feeling that somebody's invading your privacy and questioning your...
It was a horrible feeling just to think they were there and trying to take away my grandchildren. That's terrible. So people have to watch what they're trying to do to other people because, well, I'm not going to say anything. I know who's doing all this, and it's wrong.
Should Michael be found guilty of the charges against him, he could face up to 80 years in prison, leaving his 3 young children to be cared for.
You know, what would happen to the kid? And you said, what do you mean? If something goes wrong, we are the grandparents, right? What do you mean? We are taking them. Are you still standing by it?
Oh, yes.
Of course, that's a great
I'm not looking for anything to go wrong, though.
Ain't nothing gonna go.
No, we didn't say that. But if something goes, I mean, you still stand by it.
Oh, yes.
And did you discuss it ever since?
Discuss what?
I mean, it's a commitment if something.
Oh, yeah.
It's always.
It's no
Catherine, come
problem.
on,
It's no problem.
with the family.
Now, there was another media report that Michael is adopting other kids.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
It's media talk. We don't know nothing about that.
Did you ask him?
The media's trying to be funny, that's all.
Trying to make money.
But you don't think it's true?
No.
So if Michael is a father figure,
Why you want to adopt other kids when he can go make kids himself?
But Joseph,
Hmm.
maybe there's a child out there that needs help. Maybe that's why he wants to adopt.
Everyone he tried to help, their mothers turned against him.
You're right about that.
So, you know, wait.
When Michael arrived at a hearing in July of last year, he jumped on a car and performed for his fans. Many questioned whether he realized the severity of his situation.
We are on the cusp of discovering Michael Jackson's fate. I'm not sure Michael Jackson realizes how serious it is, but those of us covering this story do. Michael Jackson is in the criminal justice system. He is going on trial for some of the most heinous charges known to man, absent murder.
It happened so fast, I didn't have time to think about anything. I was in the car. We were in the car. That's the car that he was riding in, and I was inside the car. He just climbed up on top of the roof of the car. For his fans. He was doing that for his fans. The way the people felt, they didn't think it was smart to do it. I'm going to tell you something. It's always, there was nothing wrong with it in a way, but it's what the other people think. So,
for you, when you were in the car, did you feel it was wrong, or did you feel it's fine?
I felt that he shouldn't have done, but it was done.
Do you believe that justice would prevail?
Yes, I do, but
If they let it.
the world is wicked. That's why the Bible said, be no part of the world. And you can see what's going on now in the world, how wicked people are. And I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But
You keep praying.
I do. I do.
Do you pray, George?
Yes. Of course I do. I have to.